way we live our lives is affected by the things we think about ourselves. Some ideas make us feel better, while others make us feel worse. A lot of the bad feelings we have aren't really us. They're just shadows of ourselves that we've made from past events, judgments, and comparisons. We can loosen their hold on us by focusing on ourselves in a gentle way. We can start to see clearly if we wait. We learn that we can change and that freedom is closer than we think. Find your most limiting ideas. To make changes inside, you must first look at what's going on beneath the surface of your thoughts. A lot of us carry around beliefs that say, "I'm not good enough, I fail all the time," or "I don't deserve happiness." These beliefs are so normal to us that we think they are true. But they aren't truth. They are echoes of times gone by, words we took in, and stories we told ourselves. They're always there, affecting how we see life, even when we're not aware of it. Take a close look at them so we can see them. Pay attention to the words that come to mind when you're struggling. When you mess up, pay attention to what you tell yourself. What do I think about myself right now? The answer is painful sometimes. It could mean that we think we are not good enough to be loved, or that we can't change. But don't be scared of this surprise. The first step to getting rid of an idea is to see it for what it is. It can't be taken off until it's seen, like a splinter that's hidden under the skin. Just because you know you have limiting ideas doesn't mean they go away right away. What this means is that they can no longer hide. You start to see them do something. You can see that they are not absolute truths, but rather ideas that have been shaped by events. These ideas start to loosen up as you become more aware of them. You get some of your rights back every time you find one. You know that the voice of limits doesn't define your worth. By being honest about the ideas you hold, you start to change the story you tell yourself about yourself. Identify and change habits of negative self-talk. Sometimes the mind can be a harsh judge, saying things over and over that hurt more than any voice outside. We might hear over and over again about the mistakes we've made or the chances that we will fail. We feel about ourselves based on how we talk to ourselves. If you don't question them, they build a cage of doubt. There is another way, though. Our inner critic can talk, but we can stop and think about what it means. Is this voice telling the truth, or is it echoing fear? Often, the mean words aren't based on facts, but on old ways of thinking. When we question them, we start to loosen their hold on us. What if a friend talked to you in that way? Would you believe what they said without question? Most likely, you would defend yourself. But when the voice is inside, we believe it. To change this, practice being kind when you answer. If your reviewer tells you you can't, say, "I'm learning," or "You are not worthy," whisper back, "I deserve care." This isn't a fight with yourself. It's about getting things in balance. The reviewer might not go away right away, but every kind word weakens it. You build a new routine over time, one of kindness and support. You'll act differently in the world after this change. You take more risks when you're not afraid. You can grow when you don't question yourself as much. The voice inside your head stops being an enemy and starts being a guide, telling you to be kind to yourself. Negative self-talk can't describe who you are when you question it and treat yourself with kindness. Reframe past events by looking at them from different angles. What we remember about ourselves often shapes how we see ourselves today. A mistake from years ago could be telling us that we can't do it. When we are rejected, we might think we are not lovable. They turn into stories that we carry around with us like big stones. But every story can be told again. Even though the past can't be changed, what we think about it can. We don't have to see loss as a sign of weakness. Instead, we can see it as a lesson that made us stronger. Rejection doesn't have to mean we're not good enough. It can also mean we need to find where we really fit. This change in how we see things frees us from chains that no longer serve us. It's important to think about this. Take a moment to think about the image that bothers you the most. What else could this moment mean? How does it make me better? At first, the answers may seem forced, but if you wait, you'll find hidden knowledge. There are seeds of growth in many of life's painful stories. We don't have to be victims of the past when we change how we think about them. We make meaning for ourselves. This doesn't get rid of pain, but it changes how we see it. A scar won't go away, but it can show that you're strong instead of weak. Every time you change how you think about the past, it loses its power over who you are. You understand that your mistakes do not make you who you are. You are the one with the pen, so you can write something new. When you're free, the big stones of memory turn into ways to grow. Every day, treat yourself with consistent kindness. Being kind to yourself is the first step to real change. Too often, we show kindness to others, but not to ourselves. Our flaws bother us a lot and we expect to be great at everything we do. But the self grows with care, just like a plant does with water and sunshine. Being compassionate isn't something you do once, you do it every day. Small steps are taken at first. Instead of yelling at yourself when you trip, say something nice. If you're tired, don't feel bad about taking a break. Kind acts like these tell the heart that it deserves the same kindness it shows to others. It's also necessary to forgive yourself for mistakes you've made in the past. Self-blame keeps wounds from getting better. When you forgive, you make room for healing. This doesn't mean you can make bad decisions, but it does mean that you are learning, just like everyone else. Having compassion for yourself makes the edges of hating yourself softer. Inside, it makes a safe place where growth can happen without fear. Simple practices may be part of practicing every day. Every morning, put your hand on your heart and tell yourself, I deserve kindness. At the end of the day, be thankful for all the little things you did to make the day better. These habits change the inner world slowly. Over time, kindness takes the place of criticism. Instead of being mean, there is kindness. Instead of shame, people accept each other. This small change changes the way you see yourself. You start to feel better and lighter. Being compassionate doesn't mean you can't grow. It means going on the path of growth with kindness by your side. It lightens the load and opens up the heart. Compassion becomes a way of life when you practice it every day. Picture yourself in a way that you want to see yourself. The mind has a lot of power over who we are. What we think about over and over again often affects what we do and what we choose. If we think about how small, unworthy, or unable we are all the time, we unknowingly live that story. But when we choose to see a different picture of ourselves, one that is strong, brave, and full of love, we start to become that picture. It's like planting a seed in good dirt when you visualize. You water that seed every time you picture your best self. It starts to grow roots over time. You should find a quiet time to practice. Imagine that you are living your life with confidence and peace. Picture yourself being calm as you go into situations. Imagine being able to speak clearly and nicely. Think of yourself doing something that seemed impossible at first. The picture has more of an effect when it is clear. Don't think of it as a dream. It's like practicing for the life you want to live. The brain often reacts to things that we think as if they were real. This means that the more you practice, the more naturally it will feel to act in the way you see yourself. If you start to question, look at the picture again. Remind yourself that you can get better. Things start to line up with the idea as time goes on. Visualization can also make you braver. Imagining yourself as someone else can help you get past your fears. It makes you think about what is possible. Real life and fantasy become less clear over time. You start to show the traits you used to only imagine having. You learn that you can change how you see yourself by practicing regularly. And the way you shape that idea shapes your life. Do small things on purpose that are in line with your new views. When you live out your beliefs, they become stronger. Even if we tell ourselves we can do something, the idea is only strong if we do it. Small, well-thought-out steps lead to change. Each move is like a brick that helps build a new base. The first step should be the smallest. Take a short walk if you think you deserve to be healthy. Write a single page if you think you can write. Set aside some time to read if you want to learn. Even though these things may seem easy, they have a lot of power. Your mind gets a sign with each step that this belief is true. Over time, the actions and beliefs build on top of each other. With every step, trust grows and doubt fades. Size doesn't mean as much as consistency. A small action done every day changes who you are more quickly than a big action done only once. Not big jumps, But steady progress is what makes the trip worth it. Every move you take should fit with the new story you tell yourself. This is how change really happens. You don't have to wait for belief to get strong before you move. It's about doing something even when you don't know what to believe. Taking action grows trust. Belief drives action. They build energy together. You get a little closer to the person you want to be every day. You can trust who you are becoming more with each choice you make. Old doubts lose their weight over time, and the strength of living truth takes their place. Small, deliberate acts can change the way you feel about yourself at your core. Get proof of how your skills are changing. Often, the mind holds on to signs of weakness and ignores signs of growth. We remember every mistake we make but forget the brave things we do every day. To change how we feel about ourselves, we need to find proof of our strengths. This proof doesn't have to be very strong. It lives in small wins, like the time you told the truth, the time you kept going even though you were scared, or the time you showed kindness instead of anger. All of these show that change has happened. Note them down. Write down how your skills change over time. After a few weeks, the list becomes a mirror that shows how far you've come. When you start to question, look in this mirror again. It should help you remember what is true. Gathering proof changes the inner story. Instead of saying, "I never change," you say, "I change every day." This trains your mind to see growth instead of failure. Our new picture of ourselves gets stronger as we gather more proof. It's like putting together a case for court, but this time it's for your worth. It is harder to deny when there is more proof. Doubt loses its power over time. Your faith in yourself changing gets stronger. Getting proof also makes you feel more grateful. You can honor the journey you are on by focusing on your skills. You have better thoughts about yourself. You learn how important it is to have guts in order to grow. This change not only changes how you live your life, but also how you see yourself. When you carry more proof, your steps become lighter. You are no longer defined by past mistakes. Instead, live proof of your strength makes you feel better. Create a group and environment that supports each other. We see ourselves through the people and places around us. Just like trees do better in rich soil, we do better when we're in a place that supports and encourages us. It's hard to believe in our own worth when we are constantly being criticized. But when people are kind and accepting, it's easy to grow. When you curate your surroundings, you pick and choose which influences you let close to your heart. Pay attention to how you feel after being with certain people. Do they make you feel better or worse? Do they help you grow or make you doubt yourself? When you know more, you can make better decisions. Find people who can help you remember how strong you are. Spend time with people who believe in your journey, even when you fail. When your own voice gets tired, these are the sounds that cheer you on. People in a group who help each other don't have to be perfect. People who care about kindness, honesty, and growth are what it means. Being a part of this kind of group makes you believe in yourself more. You understand that you are not the only one changing. Taking care of the places you live is also part of curating your surroundings. Set up places that help people relax and concentrate. A place with lots of things that remind you of what's important. A quiet spot to think, or even just lighting a candle every day can be good for the heart. Every choice you make affects how your new self grows. Over time, the world you create shows what you really want to achieve. It helps you remember every day who you are becoming. The right environment helps people believe, reduces doubt, and supports the growth of the self. Choose mantras that will help you. Words have a lot of power. The things we say to ourselves over and over again plant seeds in our minds. If we say, "I am broken," over and over, our minds start to believe it. We can plant seeds for growth, though, if we choose affirmations that are based on truth and power. An affirmation is not just a dream. They are choices to say things that give people power. They make you think about what is possible. To practice, choose things that make you feel good and that you can believe. Say things like, "I'm learning to trust myself. I deserve kindness, and every day I get stronger." Say these things over and over, either out loud or to yourself. Each time you do something, you make a new mental path. They might feel strange at first, especially if you're used to telling yourself mean things. But perseverance is important. The affirmations start to feel normal after a while. When you're having doubts, they start to ring again, giving you power where there was criticism before. By choosing mantras, you change your inner story on purpose. When things go wrong, it changes how you deal with them. You don't shrink, you move forward. You keep telling yourself that you are strong instead of giving up. Affirmations can also help you pay attention. They shift attention from weakness to opportunity. When spoken with purpose, every word is a spark of change. When you hear these sparks every day, they light a fire of hope. After a while, you don't just repeat the words, you become them. Affirmations are statements that tell you the truth. You can grow, you deserve love, and you are strong enough to follow your path. Because you chose them, you are in charge of your inner conversation again. You use words that heal and lift people up in your story. Commit to always changing and growing as a person. There is more than one time of change. It happens over and over again. As you learn and grow, the things you believe today might change tomorrow. Accept that you will always be changing who you are if you want to really change how you feel about yourself. This means letting go of fixed ideas about who you are. Labels like, "I am this way," or "I will always be this way," will hold you back. Instead, see yourself as flexible and able to grow all the time. You and life are always moving. Every event gives you a chance to change how you think about yourself. It will feel like growth some days and setbacks other days. Both, though, are parts of the way. If you want to grow, you have to show up every day, even if it doesn't look like the way is clear. It means being sure that you can always change, no matter what happened in the past. With this attitude, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to finish becoming your best self. All you have to do is walk. With every step, you learn new skills, gain more knowledge, and show more kindness. You can let go of old versions of yourself when you keep reinventing yourself. You don't have to hold on to old parts or stories. Don't be stuck in who you used to be. Right now, you can change into anyone you want. This freedom is strong. It helps you remember that who you are is not set in stone, but is alive, living, and growing. This is how to live with hope. It means having faith in your endless growth. It gets easier to be yourself every time you change yourself because you're not limited by fear or other things that hold you back. Every part of your life is affected by how you feel and what you think about yourself. You can free yourself from the weight of limitation by looking inside, questioning old patterns, and picking new truths. Each step is soft but strong, and they all bring you closer to your true self. Transformation is a way to get where you want to go. If you walk it with patience, kindness, and bravery, you will find the power and beauty that are already inside you.